One of the mysteries of existence is that we appear to exist, but there's really nobody there. If you turn your mind around and look into the subjectivity that is you, there's no thing you will find, but a kind of warm happiness. It feels right that your attention was directed inwards, especially towards the chest and the gut, your center of gravity. It's a position after it's developed that is intensely strong. And if you could hold it, your mind will lie in perfect peace, watching itself. Now, the watcher is not the mind. The mind is something which is perceived by something else in you. The ability to perceive. On one hand, you don't exist at all. Meditation proves that what you had as existence really isn't like you thought it was. Truly, though, hardly anyone takes a look at themselves. I think some people would think it's too boring to turn your mind around and dive within. But after you get used to it, there's nothing that brings more joy than turning your attention around from the outside world into your inner world. And when you look inside, all you see is a vast emptiness. And then there's your own presence as an entity, the impact you make on the universe, as well as watching yourself, making impact on yourself. Self-inquiry, which is what Robert taught, might teach, really does mean that. It's to inquire by holding your attention unto yourself. Maybe you fixate on a heartbeat or your breath or your diaphragm, and you feel the passage of air through the nostrils and down into your chest. And then there's you, the looker, trying to look at himself and finding out that it's not that hard. It would be hard if the only kind of looking that one can do is physical eyesight, because turning your eyes around inside your head is kind of a entryway to learning how to attend to yourself. Yourself is always with you, always there. It's the beginning and end of your beingness. And when you locate unerringly yourself in meditation, your power to attend to things begins to grow. Maybe at first you had the attention of a chicken, but by practicing meditation, you learn to catch hold of you, your sense of being alive. And meditation becomes sort of a celebration of that. You stare into the abyss, and there you are everywhere. In your heart, in your room, in satsang, in the universe. And if you've practiced meditation a long time, your mind is silent. And its silence can be ecstatic. The mind turned inward is staring, looking for your true self. But your true self is not of this world. And yet it's there inside of you. It's a blinding light. And you begin to see that your consciousness both is this light and contains this light, the light of self. It's awareness of the self. And if you talk to any two people about what they mean by self, you'll probably get different answers. For me, the self is the watcher who, through constant practice, transcends the body totally. You become something else besides the body. You become the light of consciousness. This is about the time that you start entering samadhi in your meditations. It takes a while for the mind to quiet down and for you to lose interest in the jumping of your mind when you're practicing meditation. But you don't try to hold your meditation. You just sit there, turn your attention around. And for me, from this position, I look at my heart. In about this time in the meditation cycle, my body begins to stiffen and becomes more erect. It's this stiffening during meditation that allows you to stay in meditation a long, long time. If your body went limp, you couldn't meditate. You'd go to sleep right away. I used to live next to a wide open space, much like I see looking at Adam's photos. It sort of gives a hint of vast emptiness containing everything. And there's something about being in the openness, seeing the height of the clouds, the height of the trees, makes the sitting more real. Over time, along with the stiffening of your body, which allows you to have good posture, which allows you to go deeper and longer in meditation than the rank beginner. You develop meditation calluses, you could say. Only these calluses affect your inner being, not your body. But other things happen too. You notice one day that you're happy most of the time. And say to yourself, this meditation does have some benefit. But that's not even 1,000th of 1% of what meditation brings to you. With the silence of your mind, the awareness of your own beingness grows. Until it lies heavy with you. Your body is filled with the energy meditation. But it's not an energy that makes you want to get up and run around. It's the kind of energy that comes from increasing awareness. You'll find you're not limited to this body. If you want, you can learn to meditate and to cruise around the world, sitting in zazen in your own house or in a group. But even more than that, your happiness arises from the fact that you've surrendered to life. No longer looking around for what to do or who to become or how to attract power or make people like you or not like you. You become a bump on a log. But oh, what a powerful bump you become. The energy that uplifts you, where there are this deeper states, carries you off to kind of ecstasy that grows over the years. And maybe you start having for the first time ecstatic meditations where you discover your root source inside, the white light, the blinding white light, and you just settle into it. You drop yourself into the light and you just stay there, raptured by the light. The strange thing is, so few people really have no idea what's happening to them. They like it, they don't. It changes too. Sometimes it's easy to do, sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes there's a lot of movement, sometimes there's no movement. But always there's a rest in yourself. Your own beingness is king. You look at other people in satsang, you wonder what they experience too. You may wonder about that for years. Are they seeing something you don't? It's a possibility. I know one monk who had been a monk for several years, and he still couldn't meditate. He didn't know how to just let go of himself and just be there. And eventually enlightenment comes. It has many different forms. For some people, it's explosive with light and a banging of your consciousness, exploding of your consciousness. And then nothing happens for 6 weeks or so. But after a while, you don't care. Nothing needs to happen. The non happening itself is the happening. And all around you is your own consciousness. You alone are. That's the way it feels when you're in meditation. There's only you. You alone are. And from the sky above to the ground below, only you are. Most of the time, you become this nothingness. You examine this nothingness. The more you examine, the deeper you go. It's like meditation melts your body and allows it to spread out and penetrate all things. Most of the time, meditation is friendly. The time or the times when bad stuff happen in meditation are totally gone after a year or two. There's nothing to fear in meditation. And you feel yourself as king of the world. You become aware of your body and your world and your consciousness. You're breathing. Later on, you're walking. You slow down. You're not a kid anymore. You don't feel like running around and doing things. You just feel like sitting and having communion with everything. You become a master of this world. Not that anybody recognizes it except you. You recognize your mastery over your body mind now compared with the restlessness that it had you constantly churning for years. You found peace. And part of that peace is the ability to just silently attend to all aspects of consciousness and awareness. Your mind goes places, maybe very deep inside of yourself. Or when you go shallow, maybe you find it in your heart or your head before that changes and you go deep again. One thing about practicing meditation, like most of the things that you do a lot of, you get quite good at it. It's your preferred mode of being conscious. Dean, you seem to slip off the world there for a moment.
Hello, sorry. You said I slipped off the well, did you say?
Yes, you just slipped off the world.
Yes, well, it's because I haven't slept for about a week, so as soon as you start talking, I relax and slip away. I'm not asleep. I'm just sort of not
Oh,
there.
I didn't think you were asleep.
Oh, I look like I am. Anyway, you look very well today.
Adam's German Shepherd looks happy. He's running around carrying a toy in his mouth. Nice sunny porch area. I'll tell you, you learn so many different things when you practice meditation a long time. A lot of contradictory things too. Like you exist, but at the same time you don't exist. You feel it strongly, your existence. But at the same time, it doesn't seem real. It seems too thin, too rarefied to have an existence. I wish more of you wrote to me. I love hearing what some of my students are experiencing. Some have made dramatic changes in their life, becoming happier, quieter, no longer restless, no longer depressed. There's nothing special to hear or to see, yet hearing and seeing continue to go on and unfold, not only when you're meditating, but it tapes over your life. And it seems that the knots within you, embedded within your flesh, are one by one relaxing. Maybe you feel you're almost free from any anxiety. But there's a lot more for you to come yet. The refined states of being that the advanced meditator feels our daily confirmation of the truth of his or her beingness. You are a being. And you feel the other beings around you. And you feel love for them. And you find you also have that love for yourself. You look back at your life and see how much has changed since you first started practicing meditation, perhaps listening to sacred music, taking long walks, listening to some teacher talk. Every day is happiness, even if there's something wrong with you physically, even if something is wrong with other people close to you. You hold them gently within you, and they can feel it. That's why they continue to come back to satsang. And they can feel the presence and support of other beings. Eddie, do you listen to music when you wear the headphones or talk?
Yeah, usually I'll have yeah, basons playing like at all times.
That's the way to go. That's the way to do it. The music is always with you, whether you're listening to it or not. It's there. Chris and Bernadette, I'm so happy to see you come to Satsang. The both of you have come far. And Jay's always here too. Can we have some chanting music?
Yes, working on it.
I've enjoyed being with you today. Maybe you all can find increasing rest in the silence of your own being and take comfort in your own self. Hide in your own self. Display your own self. Feel your own self. Talk about your own self. Take care. Bye-bye.